Yo!
Yayo Talk Show!
Dreamin'! Don't give it up, Molly.
Dreamin'!
Don't give it up, Marco.
Dreamin'!
Don't give it up, Kaden.
Dreamin'!
Al's name didn't fit. They talk about the show, this group of four friends been going for 1,000,000 years, there's no end. Watching every arc and saga, no sleep. It's the king of anime, 1,000 episodes deep.
Yayo Talk Show!
Talking about One Piece.
It's the name of the podcast.
We're not on Vine. Yayo Talk Show. Talking about
One Piece.
What's up, wenches, privateers, and non-binary buccaneers? Welcome aboard the most chaotic One Piece podcast on the Grand Line Internet. Time to introduce you to the crew. First, we've got the captain of the CrUno Pirates, Molly D. Simpy.
What up, is me?
While there is Hayden Jensen.
I have the door to my VO booth open because it's summer and it's hot, so leave me alone.
Hey, hot
Doors
girl
open.
summer.
No, it's too hot. It's global warming. It's climate change. Stop
Hot
it.
girl summer.
Hot girl climate warning.
Make it slightly colder because hot girl summer is killing me.
Air
Don't
conditioning
worry.
summer.
Lay on the floor and cry summer. Go,
Ooh,
no.
floor time summer.
Al,
Here.
go to Al, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to somebody whose entire name and oeuvre will probably be changing after this episode. Why? You probably know why. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the resident laugh doctor, Mr. Al McClelland.
It's me! And the laughter died, I think, last episode.
It did.
It was the day the laughter died. Yeah, no. It's
Oh,
true.
wow.
I hope you liked being depressed because welcome to Annie's lobby.
It begins.
Woohoo!
Just sweat off your head. And I'm the brave warrior. What? I'm the brave warrior of the sea.
The way
I'm
warrior.
the widow warrior.
Hello?
The internet's Mark Fidonica. I goofed that one up pretty hardcore.
Wow, I didn't mean to roast you so hard.
Leave
But
it
No, we all
was
leave.
there.
Oh no, it's all. None of this is being cut.
we smelt water. We smelt blood in the water.
You
I'm
smell
sorry.
water
We
in the
smell
blood.
water.
You smell Watto in the blood.
Not letting that by either. No.
Maui
This is a very-
blood smells Watto in the blood.
The Wario is bleeding.
We're
This is
sweeping the leg. No mercy.
The
This
podcast is bleeding out.
Don't be fooled. This is going to be a sad episode. This is just
Getting
camaraderie.
all of the happy out of the way.
Yeah.
So we've been in a little bit of a holding pattern. We've been recording, like we've usually get like big chunks take a couple of weeks, big chunks take a couple of weeks, but we're starting to get into more of a, oh god, it's summertime, we're all so busy, the world is opening back up, and this may be a little bit of a surprise. Kaden, what number episode are you on?
I'm on the same episode that I've been on for a while because everybody told me I was going too supersonic racing fast. So I'm at
Sonic boom.
522.
Done.
Yeah, I'm at 522. Molly said, no, slow down, savor it. Like
I
a Snicker.
Said, stop!
said it more like, stop it. You're going too fast.
I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt there, Molly, but okay. Maybe not.
No.
That's our captain.
To be fair, 300 episodes in like a month is a lot.
That is a lot.
I feel like if I didn't have a breakdown about how fast you were going and how slow we were recording, you could have been caught up by now. Because I believe in you and I believe in your
There was
damn-
RTX. I would have never caught up. I was so busy.
I believe.
I was
But
so
also,
busy.
you just blew through so fast that we just really need to slow it down. We just need to slow it down. Also, Mark,
It's my husband. Where are you going? Hey, come back.
you're gonna have to cut out what I just said. You're gonna need to bleep my husband's name because we haven't gotten there yet.
Oh yeah, okay. And I'll even leave in the part where you say, hey, you're gonna have to bleep it for more drama.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
We all know it's so moving on. We
Bleep back too, just for the mystery.
so before we get into the episode proper, we want to make sure that wherever you're listening to our show, that you leave us a review on your podcast provider of choice. So if you're listening to us on iTunes, leave us a review. If you're coming to us from an international iTunes store, take a screenshot, send it to us, because we actually have 2 new reviews. since the last time we recorded.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
they're so amazing.
So we've got a 5-star review from TD Wolfpack 35 that says, "Come aboard! If you're looking for a great podcast for One Piece fans old and new, this is the one. I love the energy of the whole crew and Caden's wild theories. Revisiting this series and some of the movies has only made me love One Piece even more. Keep up the great work, CrUno Pirates." Hell yeah.
Oh, thank you. A woo.
Feelings.
A little a woo for the wolf.
Oh.
And here's a little,
All right.
here's a 5-star from Mufasa Irlaitwa. Part of the ship, excuse me, I misread that. Fart of the ship, fart of the crew. So I've been following Caden and Rooster Teeth's stuff. Thank you again for getting me back into Gunplay. When I heard that they were part of a One Piece podcast, I love this podcast so much. I binged it while at work. It's a perfect mix of comedy and lore. My favorite character so far is Jack Bonesman. I'm
Jack
really
Bonesman.
hoping for an auxiliary watch along, which is something that we have been talking about. But thank you so much, Mufasa and TD Wolf for. God damn.
Stop.
If you didn't say it, I would have said it.
And TD Wolfpack, thank you very much for your
Thank
reviews.
you.
Remember, if you leave us a review, we'll read it on air. Thank you so much for coming aboard the journey with us.
Part of the ship, part of the crew.
Fart of the ship, fart of the crew.
So I wanted to mention something too. A lot of people constantly message, "Where can I watch One Piece?" So I'm going to toss one out there that if you want to watch One Piece up to date, you're going to probably need to subscribe to Funimation's app, which that's where I've been watching it. It allows me to binge things fairly easily. It allows me to watch it dubbed and subbed, and it's fantastic. However, I don't know how recent this is. I think it's fairly recent, but One Piece up to the end of Alabasta is on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the stuff that we said, if you'd like to try and get into it, it's in those first 4 seasons. You can go ahead and take a look at it on Netflix. If you like what you see there, you can test, because I feel like most people have Netflix, and then you can test test the waters a little bit, and then decide if you want to go a little bit further and, subscribe to another service to get the full One Piece experience. And hey, you maybe check out some more anime.
For American audiences, we should say.
Yes, for non-American audiences.
I don't know what outside of the United States.
Rugging sound?
Toei, I'm not sure. Local cable, but yeah, it's Netflix, Funimation, and Crunchyroll is where you will find One Piece in the States, at least.
And I think Crunchyroll, you can watch a fair amount of it still with commercials and stuff. Like you can, even if you have just a free account, you can watch a fair amount. But
I
since
think
everybody Netflix seems to be a good place to start.
I don't know if you can watch every season, but the most current seasons are on Crunchy in Japanese, and you can watch those for free, except for probably whatever the episode that got released this weekend will probably be behind a
you have to wait a
paywall.
week. Yeah.
And it'll be free the next week. But you gotta watch this entire show before you can get there.
UK and Ireland, you can watch on Crunchyroll. They just expanded fairly recently. It was back in May, up to episode 746 in the UK and in Ireland. So if there's a will, there's a way to watch One Piece. Please join us. I've been consistently pleasantly surprised by this series. I know this is episode 400,000 of our own show, but. Yeah, please. It's fun. I'm having. Shut up.
Numbers are hard. Okay.
Did we do CP9 on the 9th episode?
Yeah, oh
And
my god,
Water
we did it
7
again.
on
What the hell?
I quit.
That wasn't
I quit. That's it. I quit. That's it. That's all. I'm leaving. That's it.
Destiny. Fate.
And we made the realization before the release of the Water 7 one that Water 7 was episode 7.
Yeah.
Dude, we're just big braining it without having a brain. So
We're gonna be king of the numbers.
king of the numbers.
The largest brain moves are the ones where you don't use your brain at all.
That's fair. That's why I'm so genius at all times.
That's why you're the captain.
The show ate the number no me fruit.
Thank you and good night.
I have something, guys. I'm sorry to interrupt everything, but Numby no me.
Numby no me. Numby
There
no
you
me.
go.
I like that. The good news is that now where we are after our last movie episode, we should now be in a place to be watching the movies going forward that should be easier for you guys to watch. These are movies that are on DVD. These are movies that should be on Funimation or Crunchyroll. Somebody, whoever has the English licensing here. I'm pretty sure Funimation did all of the dubbing at this point for the movies, and they should be easier moving forward. One Piece Movie Gold, One Piece Movie Z, Stampede, all of those that we will be watching, you guys should be able to watch too. And that's the good news.
Hype.
But anyway, what are we talking about? What are we talking about this episode, Mark?
Al had a great transition of Hype Train to take us back to Rocket Man and the train heading toward Eni's lobby. And we had a couple of our crew split up in between Sanji and Frankie and a new member, Sogeking, trying to catch up and free Robin before they even get there. And then we have the rest of the Straw Hats, the Frankie family, and the remaining members of Galela and Yokozuna, in the Rocket Man experimental train with no brakes, heading up quickly behind on our way to Eni's lobby. And we get some pretty fun fights, and we get some some good character moments coupled with some weird ones. Who wants to pick up? Who wants to skip Sanji because he's canceled?
Me.
Fair enough. Moving on. But I like the fight that we got with Sanjay. What? Hello. Take two. Use take two. Sanji and Wanze, because we got to see a little bit of Sanji's knife skills, but he's using them like swords. No, it's knife skills because he's a chef. Get it? And also, Wanze is just so magnificently weird. Uh-huh. And the fact that we get him for a split second, he has his ramen style. He makes a mech out of noodles.
Can we talk for a minute about how he does this ramen style? Like,
would you like to take that, Al?
He gets a mouthful of flour, chews it up, and fires ramen noodles out of his nose, and then he cuts the noodles with his nose hair.
Yeah, that's how that's made. What are you talking about?
This is the chef for CP9.
Yeah, no, that's normal.
This is... I guess I'm the weird one.
Everybody just respectfully denies the noodles. It's like, you know what? No, thank you.
I'll just take this empty soup.
Yeah, I'll just take the broth. You don't want to know where that came from.
No, God.
Oh, God.
I think this was a fun diversion fight that gave us more of a look of, because of how serious some of the things that we're about to face and have faced can be. Let's get a little bit of levity with some of these characters and introduce new ones to counter how grimdark serious the members of CP9 that we have met already are. And when it comes to Wanze Weaselman, James H. Weaselman, I don't remember his name. He was like I'm a member of CP9 too, and everyone's like, no. God, no. And nobody acknowledges him. He's just sort of on the thing and fights. But that's where we get we get Frankie Centaur for the first time.
Yeah,
he does it wrong.
There's a lot going on in this.
There is a lot going on.
It tries to okay. So One Piece has this thing that, and I feel like this is the first time where it almost abandons it. It almost abandons it because there's just too much real serious stuff going on. Except for Sogeking, who's just no, he still kind of has some serious moments too, where it's just as Sogeking, he's still the fact that Luffy doesn't know he's Usopp and also Chopper, but everybody else does. But this is where One Piece decides to be okay, we're still going to make a couple jokes, but we're going to sit you down and we're going to talk about some real stuff for a minute. and it handles the transition really well, because like through taking on Rocket Man and everything that happened in Water 7, we started that, and then like we lean away from the jokes and into the seriousness of things as we get into Annie's Lobby. And the transition's really, really well done as far as the writing is concerned, and making it known that it's like, okay, expect less humor. And it does it in a way that doesn't seem jarring, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So, like, we're zooming towards Annie's Lobby, and we like the little bit of levity with these fights, but we do eventually catch up with Robin, and it's Sogeking who makes first contact. And it's great that this scene is isolated, because so far nobody's fallen for the whole Sogeking disguise that Usopp has put on, and especially especially with Robin just being like, "Oh, what's up, long nose friend? How you at?" And we get this interesting scene, like this real scene between these two characters that leads into even more ridiculousness, and we keep getting something happened to Robin, where the presence of CP9 is enough to try to protect the Straw Hats, and she's willing to put up with anything because she feels like she has to serve this punishment. That's it, and you hate to see that. You're like, "Oh, girl, what's wrong? Please just tell me what's wrong." Everything's fine. It's all fine.
We'll get to that later, but it's a great little moment between Usopp and Robin. And again, it's one of those things that, like, those tiny, very like pointed character moments between two characters who haven't really interacted too much, that builds more of because there's the part of the ship, part of the crew mentality that everybody has, but getting to have those moments between, oh, here's the dynamic between Robin and Usopp. Here's the dynamic between Robin and Chopper, and Robin and Luffy, and so on and so forth. Getting to have those moments explains where each character fits in the other character's mind and heart. Which, again, as far as our main, Straw Hat Pirates are concerned, they go into that stuff very well. This is the found family trope done so perfectly.
And to go off of that even just a little bit, it happens with Zoro here. For the longest time, he was like, that woman. And the second it's, wait, they took her? We gotta go save Robin. Like, it's like a big brother, or like, it's like a sibling thing of like, that guy's a jerk. Like, a little bit less so than him and Sanji, where, look, nobody gets to make fun of Robin except me, and Zoro is part of the ship, part of the crew when it comes to that sort of a thing.
He doesn't seem like it, but he's probably one of the most like, don't mess with the crew people on low key. One of the most like, don't touch these people. I will hurt you.
Going into his backstory, like his mission up to that point was just to be the like greatest swordsman that ever lived, and then he ends up putting Luffy's dream above his own, where like Luffy will be the pirate king, and then my mission can happen. And so it's like that you see how he grows as a character. It's like he's willing to chop off his own legs for his own dream, but how far is he willing to go to also help achieve Luffy's dream and the crew's dream? Like he's putting these other people above himself. And I don't know if it happens here, but during this arc, he's like, we're not kids playing pirates, we're a crew. And like that he's growing a lot during this arc.
I think it's as a result of, I think it might be in the epilogue where he just says it outright of like, look, what we just did was a big deal, and we're going to have a lot of people chasing after us. But before we get too far away from this scene, Molly, did you have any thoughts on the scene between Robin and Sogeking when they finally catch up?
It's just so good. Like, I'm sure you guys have already It's good. It's good, dog. No, it's just, I'm sure you guys, it's been said before, but it's just a complete juxtaposition to what our dear friend Usopp was just dealing with Luffy. Maybe the ideals that he didn't have during that fight are different now, but his good friend Soge King, he sees the problem in the friendship, and he's trying to promote camaraderie now with another crew member who's gone astray.
He's made his own middleman for this fight.
He just hates seeing good friends fight,
So this is ultimately where we get the decision of, well, no. CP9 intervenes. A couple of more of the agents go down, and Robin's like, "You get the hell out of here right now. I have made my decision." Like, that's when everybody sort of escapes to the back car, and it gets disconnected. They grab Robin and go, like, whatever. We gotta go. And
it was
about to work, and then it was like, we saw that, like, the first, like, real display of power from CP9 since they left Water 7, and it's and now we're gonna start getting into, like, the real and arriving at Ennie's lobby. Does anybody else have anything that they want to say about the train?
Did we mention Sanji's ability?
We were talking about Wanze, and we weren't very specific. You're right.
There's just this weird uncanny valley ability that Sanji just shows off in this fight that we won't see the last of. But Sanji's feet, they're just so powerful, dude. They can just completely rearrange your face. And I was thinking about this last night too, that he totally changes people's faces, but, like, to his version of what he thinks handsome is, which I think is very interesting, because it's all like, Sanji can draw, but Sanji can draw one face, and it's the same face over and over again. It's the handsome, quote unquote, handsome man face.
Right, the handsome Squidward meme.
Yeah. It's like he got real good at drawing one face, and he can only do it in, like, a 3/4 turn.
He can only do it from left side profile.
Yes. Yeah.
And
like,
using his foot.
Thinking about that last night, and it was just like, wow, he really just knows how to do the one face, huh?
Yeah.
And yeah, just for whatever reason,
He got
Oda
the
was
one
like,
how to draw anime book.
yeah. Everyone's hair is blue. But yeah,
Hey.
just what?
Wait a minute.
What? There's nothing wrong with
You don't
that.
have blue hair presently.
Not you.
I'm gonna cancel Molly in a minute.
Uh-oh. Oh,
No, go.
no,
dare
it's
you.
just like, for whatever reason, Oda is just like, oh, and he can also do this. And they just don't ever address it. They don't. That's just a thing that Sanji can do. And it's so weird. And we'll talk about it again in future episodes.
I think it's something that Oda's just similarly to, like, Echoes of Buggy, my memoir, where if he likes something, he'll try or if he's like, you know what, this is dumb, let me see if I can pull this off, and then he does it, he likes it, and he figures out a way to bring it back, and let's do it again and again. And this being something that they don't really talk about or spend any real time being like, yes, I learned this learning under Zeph and blah blah blah. It's like, nah, he just did it. Whatever.
He's just like so pissed at this guy's face, and like, if for whatever reason it works though, like it's like it works multiple times where he's just like, you got a really bad attitude because this and that, and your face pisses me off. Let me just change your whole face. And it's like, wow, I'm handsome now. You know what? You get out of here, you crazy kid. Like, you're good in my book. Like, you did me a solid. And
it's amazing what a little bit of personal self-confidence can do for somebody's, like, own projected personality, and how they view themselves can affect, how they interact with others. Maybe be a little bit more happy with yourself and
kicking
and
yourself to self-confidence.
Yeah, you need to treat yourself a little better, and then you'll realize that you should be treating other people better too, or get your face kicked in by
Yakuza plastic surgeon.
He gave you this power. He'll take it away. All right. But yeah, just
Please,
like this
let's
weird. It's already a weird fight. It's already a weird fight. Just real quick, it's already a weird fight, and it's just like we we know Sanji's cooking. We know that's his thing. His whole thing about not using knives. That's his whole feet thing. He doesn't use his hands because he's a chef, and that's what this fight is. It's just I don't even know why they have a chef on the train. It's like an hour. It's like an hour to their destination. They don't.
Package.
It's a train chef.
But then
No.
they sell Oreos. They don't have a.
She's hungry.
I know
Anybody want some nozzles? I mean noodles?
No,
Well,
no.
he's the chef of the train, though. He just happens to work for Annie's lobby. He's the chef for the train, which means he's also like he's chef plus a guard on the on the train. So it kind of makes sense. That's just like, of course, we're gonna plant some cops on the train to make sure that nobody messes with the train. But this train goes to other places besides Annie's lobby. This is a commuter train. Remember?
I forgot. Yeah. You're right. I forgot about that. I forgot that the government just took it. They're like ours now.
Stupid.
Just weird fight. But I felt it was important to bring up the plastic surgery thing because it's not the first. It's not just like a one and done thing. It comes back.
I'm just like, I know we're going to talk about it, but I'm trying to remember. Just send it to me later where it comes back.
Okay.
We have a lot. We have a lot.
We have a lot to cover and not a lot of time to do it. So
the points don't matter. So when we get to Annie's lobby, this is where like we get that's right. When we get a lot of more time with Spandam and realize that he's the absolute worst. And even with, and I don't think I'm speaking too out of turn, Al or Molly, in saying even with like current One Piece, Spandam is still considered to be one of the absolute worst. And yes. Kane, you might have met the one person that could tie him in terribleness due to their actions against people we like. So, but the fact that the character choices that the actor made, that the writing made, that the design made, Al mentioned it last episode, for some reason he has a mankind mask on, which when I first saw it, I was like, there's no way. There's absolutely nope, it's just that mask. Somebody just saw the mask, thought it was cool, and added it to his design, and it works. It's so weird how a non-devil fruit user, because of like, can be this terror, because there's so many things that are revealed about the world government in this arc, just in the way that they staff, the way that they run things, that there's so much like subtext of how terrible the world government is, and Spandam is like the poster boy for all of that.
Yeah, entirely.
He is my most hated character. Like,
he does like the most direct mental damage to your favorite character. So of course.
And well, I'll like this is I will say this. I was already in love with Nico Robin because she's a fun character and she's really interesting. This is where the unfortunateness of, oh wow, she's my favorite character turns into, oh wow, she's the comfort character, and then it's like, oh no, what are you doing? No. We're not doing that. Stop. And again, we'll get there. We'll get there. But I will say in almost no uncertain terms, Spandam is the character I hate the most. I hate Spandam so much.
Oh, straight up.
In terms of like characters who have no redemption, who have no good qualities, there's no reason to like this guy.
Well, even the people that work for him are like, this guy sucks.
This guy sucks. Yeah, entirely. They're like, God, I hate this guy. Yeah. He sucks.
The worst.
So we get to...
That's kind of it.
Garbage.
Which makes this arc very satisfying in some parts. But
we'll get there. Don't worry.
Straight up.
Okay.
Where do you want to take this, Molly?
I want to take this to the lobby.
Oh, we at the lobby.
We lobby.
You want to go outside?
Well, we were looking at the train. We were at the train, and then.
So there's something that One Piece does really well, and it's where I think they can really shine, and they do it a lot, and it's all right. We have these two mass groups of people, and we need to figure out a way to get them out of the way so that our main players can act. So it's like chorus versus like main characters. And the way that One Piece does chorus is they have a massive marines and a mass of an opposing force fight, and then our crew finds like the generals and the strong ones, so and so, like so on and so forth. And so we saw it in Alabasta, we see it here, and we see it kind of ad nauseum in the future of One Piece, where it's just Magnus rushes in the anime. And so with this, we have the Frankie family and Galila and the Straw Hats taking on all of these Marines, but Luffy is just like, no, I gotta get to Robin before anything, and runs ahead. But we get our first CP9 fight where Luffy fights Bluno, and we see Gear second for the first time. And both with CP9 introducing like the six like ways of battle or whatever it's called, I forget. But with like Soru and things like that, where okay, the military has this extra training, and can our team stand up to that? And Luffy sort of fires the first shot with, "Oh, you think this isn't even my final form?" And once Bluno goes down, we have, I would say, arguably one of the most iconic moments in the show, where the Straw Hats catch up and Soga King, and we have this face-off where I can imagine if you do this in real life, in anime, it's cool and you get close-ups and people are shouting at each other. But if you like cut to the wide shot, it's just like wind blowing, and people like, "Hey, you suck," stuff like that. But it's look, if the world government did this to you, Robin, then we're gonna declare war on the world government. Soga King, take it down, burns the flag, and
so good.
They essentially punch their ticket of, oh God, like we don't come back to it until much later of what exactly they did on the world stage, that is. But this is where it's like, Robin, all you have, just say that you want to live. Say that you want to live, and we're here. We are here to save you. Like this, oh God dang, man.
I mean, for Luffy in that moment, it's not about like declaring war on the world government. It's about protecting a friend. It's like, I don't care what it will take, whatever the symbolism is. Fuck you and your butts because you hate my friend.
Luffy is literally like, I don't know what that flag means, but that flag upsets Robin. Shut it down.
Literally,
no more flag.
Nobody. Like everybody's there. Everybody is standing there and standing there defiantly. Like it's no joke. Like Sanji would be able to put two and two together. Nami would be able to put two and two together here. They should be able to understand like what Nami and Sanji at the very least understand what they're about to do. Zoro maybe. But Chopper doesn't really understand, and Luffy doesn't really understand, and Usopp kind of gets it. But taking a look at everything, Soga King, my apologies. But taking a look at it, they're so focused on the goal of, we want to save Robin, and the thing that's definitely standing between us and that is the symbolism of that flag. And they're just like, so if we get rid of that, then the first barrier is gone.
I mean, they're pirates. They're pirates, right? They understand what symbolism on flags mean,
right?
On their main,
they're still in this moment. A lot of them are still thinking of it as ship to ship combat.
Yeah,
and again, later on, they realize the ramifications of this, but that's where their mentality is. It's like, this is just another ship to take down on our grand, adventure towards becoming the best pirates in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it really is to them, is somebody took our crew, we got to burn their flag. Because if we do, then it's a declaration of we're coming for you. And it's like, whose flag was this again? Right.
Our crew doesn't think in long. They don't think in long play. They don't think about the future. They think about the here and now. They go fight to fight.
For real.
The current fight is that flag, and it's gonna catch Dee's hands.
As much as we sort of joked and attempted to speed through it, getting the small sort of thematic reminder through the Foxy games, while the anime did take a little bit too long with it, I will say.
Yes.
Getting that reminder of what these things mean, what our crew's ideals are, how important it is, part of the ship, part of the crew, things of that nature, helped reinforce this notion of like, we just went, or even, and I'll keep it light in case people didn't get a chance to see the movie. And even if you take into account the events of Baron Matsuri and the Secret Island, and you take all of that into account, heading into Water 7, heading into Eni's lobby, and we get this amazing moment of Robin admitting to herself and to her crew and the world, I want to live. Take me out to sea with you and Polly especially. But from the...
How dare
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted, was it?
How dare you? How absolutely dare you? So I want to can I take a minute about
Take as long as you want, reasonably.
It's just no. That's fair. There's 4 episodes. It's 4 episodes. Episodes 275 all the way through 278 that detail Nico Robin's story, and literally, the episode title where it starts is Robin's Past. The girl who was called a demon. And it's just like, the moment I saw that, I'm just like, uh-oh. Oh no. So it zips us 20 years prior, where Robin is on this island of just really pleasant people who just like books a lot, pretty much. That's what it just seems like.
Nerds.
But even so, she's not treated well in her own group. Like, even with her own, with her quote unquote, with her own people here, she's not necessarily treated super well. She's treated well amongst the people who work at the quote unquote, the world's greatest library. But by her own family, which is she's living with her aunt and her aunt's husband and their daughter. And she's just not treated especially well. So she, it's like she starts learning and, leaning into like learning about the world through archaeology when she's like 8 years old. She just like falls into a passion because it's a great distraction and it's the thing that makes her happy. So like it turns out that
it's the thing her mom's doing, right?
The thing is like that's all she really knows is that much and not anything else. So she wants to like help out with like, doing research and stuff. And she's constantly denied this, over and over again. And then she's fully rejected entirely. And then so she goes on this little bit of a trek to like kind of like cry and, be a kid and be disappointed about it. And then she meets Jaguar D. Saul, who is a giant and is wearing a cowboy hat. And that won't influence her at all in the future, period.
That yeehaw energy.
I kicked in at the dot.
Who is an ex-vice admiral of the Marines. And they become friends through, like having conversations. Robin keeps visiting him because he's just like living on the island now in secret to try to like dodge the Marines because shockingly, the Marines are bad and they want people to do bad things and justify them with it's just the natural order. But they become friends, and Saul is the one who helps, like, Robin learn to, find happiness again through laughter, through laughing through the pain to a little bit of a degree, which was, anybody want to do the laugh? Anybody want to do his laugh? Thank you. So that takes us through to, it's like they learn more about each other, and Saul learns that Nico Olivia is Robin's mother, and that, that he is currently on an island that is being targeted by the world government. And he's like, we need to warn everybody now because everybody's got to get out of here. And Olivia, Nico Robin's mom, returns and decides to not tell Robin that she's back. And because like if there's a direct correlation, because Olivia knows at this point, it's like if they know that Robin's my daughter, they will target her pointedly, no matter what, just because she's my daughter and no other reason. So CP9 comes in, and this is the OG CP9 years and years ago. Come in there and they start capturing the folks on the island that were, it's like the epitome of what Robin wanted to be, the people who were close to her, which were the scholars of the island. And it turns out that these poneglyphs, the things that, Robin has been looking at throughout the history of the series so far, have been carved by this like super old ancient country in order to prevent people from, completely like erasing the actual history of the world. But the world government is just like, no poneglyphs, none of this stuff. And of course, Spandam's dad, who I don't remember his name, if anybody remembers it. Spandine, thank you. Decides that, you know what? No more messing around. That's it. Takes out the golden Dendenmushi, pushes the button, which initiates the Buster Call, which means that everybody, all hands on deck, we're erasing this island from existence, and that means everyone on it. If you're on it and you're a Marine, sorry, you don't exist anymore. Game over. It is there.
You know too much.
Yeah, that's it. It's over. We don't want to. No one leaves this. If you're on the island, no one leaves. So it's at this moment that, everything's going to hell. Robin realizes, it's like, recognizes Olivia and just is trying to like call out to her mom. Olivia says no, but then Robin, as this kid, decides to do the things. It's like, please, I know I'm your daughter. Please, recognize me here. I'm going to become an archaeologist and I can read the poneglyphs. And it's just like, no, which seals Robin's fate entirely. She's 8 years old. And now the government knows that she can read poneglyphs and that she is smart enough to be qualified as an archaeologist, which means that doesn't matter if she's Olivia's daughter. She's already got a target on her back. So
she so desperately wants to be recognized by Mama that, sweet child, don't you understand? Even though everyone's been telling you, there's a difference between understanding and comprehension, right?
Yes.
People have been telling her over and over again, don't do this, don't do that. This is for your own good. It's incredibly dangerous. We are all in danger at all times. We don't want that for you. And Robin's just like, yeah, but. Bro, so, I can read.
Mommy.
Yeah, that's important to her.
The Buster Call is still going on. Olivia and Robin have a bit of a moment, but Olivia knows that it's game over for her. So she trusts Saul with Robin. And then and that leads to, the finality of, this like it's they start making their way away. Robin is almost inconsolable at this point. And it's just Saul is fighting the battleships and doing all this stuff solo. And all of a sudden, here comes Aokiji out of nowhere.
No, I don't like him.
And Aokiji and Saul have this honestly, it's quite a great heart to heart. They have this moment, but Aokiji's just like, I can't let this go. I can't let this go. I can't let you go. But I'm just gonna ignore the fact that Robin is on this little boat and leaving. Just, you can go, and I'm gonna pretend it's not happening because you're 8. So Aokiji does have a little bit of a heart there, but he ends up freezing Saul solid, and that's solid. It's just no, please.
For a character that I don't like, I will give him this. He is on a constant path that it's right. The world is gray, right? It's not about doing. It's not, all one way or all the other way. It's a mix of everything. And for this guy in particular, he is in a constant path of doing what he think is right, but also following the rules and keeping his job. And sometimes those things don't line up. And we've already seen it with their reunion, him and Robin, at Foxy's games. And even then, you know, the sliver of I won't take you in because technically I'm on my lunch break. Like, you know, he's still
he'll find a loophole. He'll find a loophole to make things possible if there is a loophole for him to take. But if there's no other option, then, you know, even
AMAB.
he you know, it's like he resigns himself to his position, which you can kind of tell that even he doesn't really like. But at some point, you gotta quit being a Marine and be a person. Aokiji, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But you know, it's like it's really, it's a lot.
It's something we'll talk about again. It is definitely, this is not the last we will hear of this conflicting man.
We will catch that thought process a little bit later, but continuing on a bit, it's like we see, you know, a child Robin, you know, paddling away on this little tiny boat away from the only home and the only people she's ever known, for better or worse, completely the island is sinking. She has seen so many people like die in front of her and everything, and she's laughing like how Saul taught her as she's crying. Then we zip back to the present, and this is when Robin starts talking about like why she's, you know, done everything she's done to this point. Because every time she's, you know, tried to, you know, plant a flag somewhere, you know, be it with the wrong crowd or the right crowd, it didn't matter, because her existence amongst those people meant that they would be hunted and they would find their end. And it has happened consistently. So she feels that she needs to atone for the sin that she carries in her heart of being the reason that so many people have died. Be they good people or not, it is her fault that she continues to exist, and she has resigned herself to turning herself into CP9. This is her resolve, is she's now giving up. They finally got her. And it's over because she doesn't want to see the Straw Hats suffer like so many others. People that she actually
cares about. Right. People who she's actually she has friends now, and she's like, I can't do this to them. And because everybody else that we saw, like real quick, where it's like a family like taking in young Robin, and they're like, call the cops, we got her. But she knows those people are going to turn in for money.
Spotted.
She works for other pirate captains before she meets Crocodile, knowing who gives a crap. These guys are bad guys. Like, you know, I don't really care what happens to them.
The thing is like they also treat her with that same level of respect too. It's like she's got a bounty, she's wanted, she must know something. She gets a level of respect from the pirates that like the normal people on normal regular islands don't give her. So she's the girl who lived. It's such a like a difficult moment for her to just kind of like, she had no childhood. She had nothing to base anything on. Every adult in her life has been terrible to her and treated her like a commodity or a paycheck in one way or another. So she's just like, I give up, because at this point, I'm either going to fall in line with somebody else who's terrible, or I'm going to get you all killed. That's it. I don't want to be a burden to any of you anymore. Leave me here. Let me die. And then you can live and it will be fine. I am fine with dying here, because if you can just go and my death will mean something, then maybe it won't hurt so much. And I'm freaking sobbing through this entire thing, because it's just like, that hit too close. It hit too close to home. And then Luffy opens his mouth and says, it's like, I don't care. Tell me.
Shut up.
I don't care. I don't care about any of this.
Shut up.
Shut up. Tell me you want to live.
Tell me you want to get McDonald's with me.
And Robin pauses, because there's just this moment in this great shot of just everybody standing there waiting to hear Robin's response. And the full response is like, she's just breaks down, and all of the cool, like, you know, badass mom vibes that she's had this entire time, where she's completely in control of everything, all of the facade goes away. Robin breaks down and accepts the actual feeling she has. She doesn't want to get left behind. She does not want to be that, and she does not want to believe that about herself anymore. She wants to live, and that's it. War is on. The Straw Hats are coming for Robin, and there's nothing that's going to stop them. These 4 episodes destroyed me. They are my favorite episodes in the entire series, and this is the reason that I will, like, through thick and thin, I will continue on watching One Piece, because those 4 episodes hit me so hard in who I am that it's just like, I owe it to the series to finish now.
Yeah, dude. That's remarkable. I think there are there's a fair amount of moments that people can point to be like, that hit me to the core on an emotional level. And for the most part, I think a lot of people point to this moment and this story, and or a combination of them, or, you know, just taking a look at Buggy or Polly. But other than that, I like there's so much history. Like there's a lot, and this backstory is both emotionally. It points out so much that Oda is good at, of pulling these historical references and applying them, or like making these references to the quote unquote to our world as opposed to the One Piece world, whatever it might be. And with Robin, we get this. We finally learn about her in every way possible, and not necessarily everything that makes her tick, but oh my god, do we have such a window into the soul of this human that already was like protect, and now it's like all capital letters protect.
This is you understand the mindset finally. Like you were just like, oh, you know, she's doing this for some reason. She's doing this. It's like, ooh, Robin, you're doing something. But then there's this like, then retroactively you take a look at these 4 episodes and you look at everything that Robin had done that we have seen at this point. It's just like, it puts it all in a huge different perspective. And it's just like, oh no, this hurts. Like, again, the girl who was called a demon, I like paused at the title. I'm just like, I'm going to take a break and walk away for a minute. I'm gonna
need a moment.
I'm going to need a moment. And it took me a full day to watch those 4 episodes, because there were points where I was crying so much I couldn't see.
This is why I think Skypiea is something to watch and not skip. This is why it's important to watch this, because we only get so much time with Robin with the crew, and a lot of what we know about Robin is Skypiea, because starting after Foxy's Games, you know, this narrative that maybe she's been struggling with herself kind of gets forced on her by Aokiji. Like, he is the one who comes from her past. He is the guy who let her walk away, and he's the guy who comes back and says, like, was it worth keeping you alive? Like, did I make a mistake? Like, did you make a mistake? Should you be dead? Do you think you should be dead right now? Like, you really need to think about this. Should you be dead? Because I'll kill you. I'll kill you right now, and I'll kill all your little friends. Like, that's when this narrative starts. And then from that point, these heckin' CP9 jokesters, that's every time that they need to get Robin on their side or to remind her why she's there, they dangle that in front of her. They know that maybe this devil woman who has no weakness, something that they know does affect her is this guilt.
Well, every attempt to show her that they're still friends just reinforces that she needs to protect them at all costs.
This is the legitimate, and I'm gonna say that the actual term is like, this is the survivor's guilt. This is that, like, I made it through something that was so horrible that I don't want to ever talk about it. Mm-hmm. But when confronted with it and the possibility of anybody else, you know, like bringing any of that up, it's like, I can't talk about it because it's too much for me to handle on my own. And then the Straw Hats are just like, we can carry that weight with you. And it's just like, oh, oh no, oh
Family.
no. It's a lot. It is a lot.
And
It's the reverse Harry and the Hendersons.
It's a reverse pair. I can't. All right, there we go. And then we get 5 episodes of filler that doesn't matter and has nothing to do with anything, and we're not going to talk about
Similarly to your like, oh, I need to take a break during. They were like, okay, yo,
Us too.
that was a lot of heavy stuff. Let's take a break before we get back into it, because hard cutting back to Frankie like his ass inflated and then going like, what's the problem? Sort of a
Yo,
thing.
what up? What's going on?
Yeah,
Soda?
what's going on?
Talking about thick boys? What's
Stop
up?
talking about my thick seat.
You talking about cola over here?
But
Are you, Ronald, are you looking at my McNuggies?
what?
Wow.
Nope. Well, he is American, so one of the things that I like about this is when we get this story and we hear sort of like Spandam's dickish response, but it's one of those things that hearing the situation inspired Frankie to then be like, yo, you that new sound you were looking for, and he pulls out the don't God damn it, Molly just put something in chat. It's just, oh man. Frankie reveals the Pluton blueprints that he got from Tom and just burns them, because it's like either the Straw Hats win and we're good, or the Marines win and we're in the most trouble ever. But it sort of shows his oh, you say that they're cool? All right, I believe that. I believe in them as well.
Also, Frankie is so susceptible to
Crying.
shows of great passion and emotion.
Emotional outbursts.
I mean, it's like, but
He's a dude.
other people.
He's a dude who's in touch with his emotions, which I love.
That's totally fine. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's like when bros are in front of you, they're like, "You're always gonna be our bro," and he's like the one who's like not part of the situation, but it's like, bro, that was so sweet, bro. We really care about each other, bro. Like that. And
I put chips on their sandwich, bro.
it's like Frankie will join. Frankie can relate to anyone who makes a good cause, right? Like has like a good like, okay, but she's our friend and we're gonna die getting her back. And he's like, sign me up. Like I'm right there with you, bro. I'm right there with you. And I love that. I love that about him.
And it's here where we get sort of the stakes, like the stakes get even higher. It's first, like as if Spandam couldn't get any worse. He has a pet elephant, but it's not really an elephant. It's a sword that they fed the Zozo no Mi to. So it is an elephant sword named Funkfried. And I love Funkfried, both name, execution, everything. I absolutely love Funkfried, and I love the end of the show, or the end of like this arc where like I want Funkfried to be free. Oh my god, I want him to be so free. But we also get the establishment that the keys to Robin's Sea Stone handcuffs have been given to various members of CP9. They may be the right ones, they may be the wrong ones, but this sort of sets up our stakes of, all right, it's fight time, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a thought and then it just
You were just looking at Grimace's thick cheeks. And
Yeah,
you're like,
I
I lost it.
You
I was like, I
played
was-
yourself, Molly.
What's
I'm not
wrong, Ronald
craving.
Coon?
Not
wrong, Ronald Coon?
So the next big thing is, okay, so they need to save Robin. Easy. It's super simple. All they need to do is, get the Sea Stone handcuffs off of Robin and then get out. Real simple.
Easy.
That's our bread and butter. We split the team up to go
Right.
fight whoever we gotta fight. Luckily, we always have the amount of people in the crew for the amount of villains we have to fight.
Hey, shut up.
Right. Hey, Molly.
What's up?
You right though.
Okay.
So they basically say it's like, hey, there's 5 keys. One of them unlocks those handcuffs. And so they split up and they try and figure out who's got the key. The important
Rudy's got the key.
Meanwhile, Spandam makes off with Robin and is just like, haha, I'm going to now the timer is on. Spandam is trying to take Robin to beyond the door of judgment, beyond the gate of judgment.
Can we talk about the Gate of Judgment for just a split second? Just like the first shot of it, you're looking at the horizon and it just looks like sky, but then it pans up and the Gate of Judgment is fucking huge.
It's ridiculous.
Unnecessary. It's unnecessary to a degree that I'm just going to assume that this could be like, this is pre-established, like 800 years ago, some like grandeur of castle gate or some crap like that, because it's so ridiculously huge. And I know the government uses their spending on things they shouldn't, but that's a lot. That's a lot of.
But also, it all goes to the right places, doesn't it, Molly?
But that's what the flag represents, is that like excess and corruption and just excessive everything.
Protecting the 1% and with a big frickin' door.
Somebody think of the 1%, please.
Will somebody please think of the billionaires? Please. They're suffering. They can only make it to suborbit. That's terrible.
What's behind the big door again? Anybody remember?
It's a giant whirlpool.
Behind the gate or in front of the gate?
Behind the gate is a giant whirlpool that takes you to other places.
Teleport.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I know where we are.
Because we're, it's like, because this isn't prison. This is where judgment happens. This is Annie's lobby.
The highway. This is the highway to prison. And there's one road, baby.
They don't, when you go to court, they don't keep you there. They send you to prison if you're convicted. So this is courtroom. Annie's lobby is the courtroom where you are judged, which if you're here, you're guilty. No.
Annie's lobby. When you're here, you're guilty.
When you're here, you're guilty.
That's a shirt. That's a shirt.
It is. It really is.
I'm writing it down.
Oh, please do.
Penis lobby.
When you open the Gate of Judgment, there's this giant whirlpool and there's a couple other doors that take you to different places. If you can get through there, it's like blah, blah, blah. Marines can get through there. Other people can't. So even if you get past the door or you're not a Marine, then you can't get to the other place. But the idea is that once you get past that, nobody's ever heard from again, because the other two doors that open up to other places, they're way worse places to be. You definitely don't want to be there. This place is the nice place in comparison to the other two places.
Allegedly. We haven't seen those other places yet.
Allegedly, hypothetically, supposedly. So apparently. The race is on. I don't remember the exact fight order or who's got what, but let me just say that...
I got a rundown. I got a bit of a rundown.
Okay, cool.
Here.
But let's just say that there's more Seastone handcuffs and there's a lot of other keys, and it gets to become kind of this like...
Stupid.
Scooby-Doo, Scooby and the gang opening the doors, getting chased by, and then chasing the monster through things. It's like, wait, who's got what? Where? Wait, where are we? And then everybody comes together in the end. That's kind of like, it's very goofy.
We meet more members of CP9, and we realize why we couldn't have seen them in Water 7, because they're absolutely ridiculous.
Super easy. Super easy to spot. It's just like, oh, that's a villain.
We've got Fukuro, who is this big inflatable man with a zipper mouth.
I love Fukuro. Fukuro's so funny.
And in that same vein, I really like Kumadori because...
That scans for you.
Dude, like, it's silly. It's also like he's a kabuki fighter, but he has all of the like pretense and what's the word I'm thinking of? All of the cliches,
energy,
and energy of a kabuki actor. Which, in case I don't know how many people know this here. Did y'all know that there are two kabuki One Piece performances?
Yes.
Cool.
Wait, in real life?
In real life.
I knew there was one.
IRL.
Yes, and it is an arc that we have yet to experience as a show, but one that we have all experienced as a family.
In our heart.
In our hearts, yes.
As some breadsticks.
With breadsticks. But in terms of the fight breakdown, oh god, please, like, I'm just going to run it down.
Before we missed one really super important thing. Some of the CP9
Folly.
that we know, some of the CP9 were brought to Spandam's office earlier in this arc, and they were offered devil fruit.
Oh, that's right.
So there are now these people who have this special ability, because everybody in CP9 has this ability to do, what are they? This hard body shave.
I,
Yeah.
And a couple.
They got their crazy government.
Yeah, they
hardcore.
they have all
The
these.
Rokushiki.
Thank you.
right.
But now I believe it's Kaku, Jabra, and Khalifa who all got devil fruit. They all picked randomly, and it just so happened that they were all thematically appropriate because that's how you write stories.
That's just destiny. That's not coincidence. That's destiny.
Should play Destiny some more.
So Jabra gets the
Inu no Mi model wolf.
yes, and then Kaku gets
The brain
Giraffe.
Ushi no Mi model giraffe.
yes. Not Usopp becomes a giraffe, which is my favorite thing in the world. And Khalifa, who Lady Hot, gets the
Awa awa no Mi.
which is
Bubble bubble fruit.
yeah, no, not ara, but awa awa. Very
Awa,
important.
It's like uwu ara ara.
Yeah, it's uwu, it's uwu, and ara had a child, and it was the awa fruit, which is the bubble fruit. So
Stop.
yeah, you know what? You know what? Please, everybody do an ara for me right now. Please, I need one. I need one from
Mine's
everybody.
Ara.
Good, thank you, Molly.
Big dog. gotta eat.
Ada.
That's not bad. I like that. Ara. All right, now that we're done, then please never ask us to do that ever again unless
Send
I'm
money
getting paid.
to our
Unless-
please Patreon.
unless- So yeah, support us on yayotalkshow.patreon.cameo.anchor.com. OnlyFans. That's where you can get us
Go
to
to
do that again.
onlyfans.com/Buggy the Clown.
Don't
All right,
look
continue.
at that.
No. Moving on, please.
Hold on, I gotta go get that. Hold on.
Stop. It's already taken. We've established this.
I'm dying.
What were we talking about?
We finished. We
Khalifa.
finished talking about the serious stuff, and well, arguably.
Now it's the bread and butter, right?
It's
Until-
fight time.
Until I come back at the end with even more cool stuff.
Oh,
Don't worry.
I forgot about the sad at the end. But even then, that tension gets broken right away too. But with all of our fights,
Oh, it gets broken, all right.
wow, get wrecked. We have Nami and Kumadori, but Chopper takes over and reveals monster form for the first time. And that's sort of the main takeaway from that. He one-shots Kumadori, throws him stories below, hits the ground, and everybody goes, "What the hell is that?"
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
Eeg.
Uncontrollable boy. And I like Frankie's like, that hat looks familiar. Is that gorilla monkey? The gorilla dog or whatever he calls it? Very, very inaccurate. But we get Kaku and Zoro, where Kaku is really trying to make the best of a bad situation. It's like, no, I'm happy that I have this giraffe fruit. And he's having such a hard time. Usopp thinks he gets lucky because he sees Jabra sleeping across the room, and as he creeps up, wakes him up, they start fighting. But as Zoro and Kaku's destruction breaks through the building, it turns into a tag team of Zoro and Usopp against Kaku and Jabra. As they're trying to handcuff one of them with the Seesaw handcuffs to invalidate their Devil Fruit abilities. They end up getting handcuffed instead, and it's this funny handicap.
Stupid.
So good. A
lot of goofs after all the hard stuff has already happened. Now we back to our
Zoro using Soga King as a sword was the
Hold
funniest
still.
thing.
It's like, look, I'm gonna cut off your hand because I need mine.
It's like, just use me as a sword. What do they call that? What do they call that?
The form.
Yeah,
Shoot.
it was. Oh God, what was it?
Uh,
See, I'm like, my brain is on Nami's fight, so I
Well, yeah,
forgot
'cause,
about this.
like Sanji Sanji finds Khalifa in a bath, for God's sake, and is just like, well, I'm screwed. And
McNuggies.
but what ends up happening is Sanji can't fight. Sanji feels like he cannot fight Khalifa because
I'm
he
gonna
cannot fight
break
a woman.
Sanji's legs.
And as a result, Sanji gets his ass handed to him, thrown out the window as this weird, like, soap doll thing. And Nami takes over and
Good.
handily beats Khalifa and gets the first key, which ends up being the key to Zoro and Soga King's cuffs. They get taken care of, but Usopp gets the hell out of there, and it ends up being Sanji and Jabra. Sanji displays his Diablo Jamba technique for the first time. Zoro displays Ashura, and they both handily beat Kaku and Jabra. And from there, we totally skipped over Fukuro, but this amazing comedy beat of Frankie being out of juice and Chopper just running to the fridge like, here you go, and we see tea, lemonade, like all of the different things that try to power Frankie, and he's just like, fresh. What the I never want to say that in my life ever again. Such good, like, if we weren't endeared to Frankie before, this was a thing that if they really pull out all the stops to make sure that by the end of this arc you really like Frankie, so that when certain offers come, they can be accepted after Polly. But through I'll never let it die. Especially this is the last time I can do it. But through all of that, unless
JK.
Does anybody have any highlights from these various CP9 fights that they want to talk about?
I want to talk about how much Kaku and Jabra just bicker the entire time.
I love Jabra so much for somebody that we didn't meet in town. It's like, he's
the
relationship
relationship between the relationship. Okay, so Jabra is super superstitious, and there it is. I've totally spaced it. The little bit of a hint that gave me everything I needed to know about everything was said by Jabra. This is like we can't. It's like when they eat the devil fruit, he wants to stay away from everybody else because it's like, I don't want the demon that was in the devil fruit that was in my devil fruit to get angry because I'm standing next to somebody else that has a devil fruit, because if you have two, then it will kill you. And so it's like, if my devil wants to kill your devil, that is, and so it's like, wait a minute, they didn't just bring that up arbitrarily. So think about that for a minute, everybody. Just leave that as a pin, because we'll get back to it in 5 episodes. We'll be okay. Just leave it for a minute.
I just like Jabra because somebody who just worked on a really cartoony show. Dude is like very like he's very cartoony wolf. Like he's not like a wolf like you would expect from most furry shows, most content, most Disney content.
He's like a Chuck Jones werewolf.
Yeah, he's got the big snoot. With the big snoot, he's very funny. Like all of his bits, like the bit with like Soge King, like right away, where he's like, "Oh, he's sleeping. I can just go get it," and he's totally awake, but he's just like, "Yes, good."
He's very like, early Hanna-Barbera-esque kind of wolf, just like exaggerated proportions, but still like human-esque enough in that feature to be just like, it is a wolf that looks kind of like a man, and that's pretty much it. And that versus Kaku. It was just he's a giraffe man. Imagine if you're listening to this and you haven't seen the Giraffe Man in One Piece, just imagine it, whatever you're imagining it. That's probably exactly what it is.
Except square.
Except for he's got a square nose, but like their personality difference, I love, because Kaku is so
straight-laced.
So he's the straight man. And Jabra is just like, he's so awoo energy even before the awoo happens. And it's still love them. I would take so much banter between those two. It's just like spin-off because their dynamic is just like, I want to listen to them argue. I do. I want to listen to them argue, which is, I'm sure there's a bunch of fics of them on AO3, but like all you need them is to fight a little bit or give each other a little bit of sass. And it's just like, the ship is born. But that's all I want to say is I love the dynamic between Kaku and Jabra. It's very funny.
I like the little sort of character bits that he does of like, I would never do that. They're my brother, or they're my sister, and it's just like extra drama just for him to get a giggle out of it. I thought Jabra was a very fun character. Like, I think, apart from like Khalifa, I wouldn't say is like absolutely terrible. Bluno is pretty forgettable, but when we get to Eni's lobby, like we've got Lucci and Kaku on one end of trying to be these like grimdark things, but one of them's a goddamn giraffe. And you just can't help but laugh. Like, I think that's another thing is Jabra sees Kaku and it's just like,
yeah, entirely.
And we totally like relate to that.
The guy who's like penetrate. No, how do I? For a guy who's killing people by
poke.
God, yeah, by like jabbing their finger through their organs, like. Who's like that? It's like, oh my God, like that guy literally could kill you with one finger, and he did. Like, and then it's like now this guy is like a square giraffe. It's like the comedy writes.
I listen. I hate CP9. I hate all of them. I love Khalifa's mannerisms and how she handles herself. It's really funny. Fukudo is amazingly enjoyable to just like both in vocal performance and in just like goofy mannerisms. I just like what Fukudo's energy is. Just a very unique character. Kaku is such a like, I'm trying to be a good Marine that does good Marine things. Please take me seriously.
Take me seriously, damn it!
What's with the square nose, my guy? Can we please not talk about my nose? I'm gonna turn into a samurai giraffe for a minute and then really beat you off. Whoa. Your giraffe nose is also square and even bigger now. So let us also make fun of that. He's like, please, someone take me seriously. And no one does. And I love it.
Yeah. I almost wish they had, like, between him and Sogeking, like, that they could have had more conversation, because if there's anybody who's ever, I mean, they did so many bits before where it's like, it's Usopp on the ship, it's fine, like that kind of bit. It's like, if there's ever anybody aside from Usopp who could relate to this guy, it's Sogeking. Three guys.
This is one of those sets of fights also where this is where the level up happens. Like when we were on Skypiea, it was a lot of like, okay, we're kind of getting by. We've hit this new ceiling. And then by breaking through that ceiling, they have that thought of, oh, we need to get better. And we see that in Nami. We see that in
yes, we're talking about Nami.
Yeah, please. Yeah, let's talk like
this is one of my favorite Nami fights. And I've talked about this before and I'll talk about it again. But I think out of everybody, aside from maybe like Chopper and Usopp, the people who gain the most to have the most progress, who, maybe were on an island until Luffy showed up and was just like, come with me. And it's like, okay, cool. You're going to carry me, right? Like, you're going to protect me? And it's like, no, we're not. Nami's fight with Khalifa is just like, we're seeing some progress. We're seeing some new stuff. And I love this fight. And it's just like, I think about this fight so often because it's not, in terms of progress, I feel like some things with Nami they don't continue from this point, I feel like, for some stuff. But we see this new thing, it's the climb attack, and it's like we get
this is the upgrade. This is the finally we get to see like the actual like upgrade
climb attack. Is that what they call it? But this is a moment back on the train where it's like, yeah, I've got this new climb attack. Usopp made it. Then everybody gets real sad, and Zoro's like, snap out of it, he's gone.
Yeah. But this is the new and improved climb attack from all the stuff he got from Skypiea. These are all of the what are the this shell's
Dials.
called?
Impact dials.
The dials. This is now all the dials that he's added to the staff to like help her use weather, which is like hell yeah, like that's awesome. I'm trying to think of like what they can all do, like rain tempo and thunder lance tempo, mirage tempo.
Mirage tempo is
That's
fun.
new. I love that. Was so fun. That was great.
It showed just how dumb Khalifa was too.
Well, yeah, well, it's also just like, again, very threatening person. Like, she's got her own bit, but like has killed people before. Like, she's not somebody to be taken lightly. And like trying to lean into her new ability, but still, same thing with Kaku. It's like they just ate it like an hour ago. They have like no idea what they're doing. And so for somebody who's like totally just overpowered Sanji, who like aside from like but women, pretty strong guy, you know, she's coming off a victory there. Think she's hot shit, and then Nami,
with the
you know,
brain
finds
cell.
out
She's got heat ball, cool ball, thunder ball, thunderbolt tempo, thunder charge, cool charge, mirage tempo.
That's new.
Swing arm.
That's new.
Yeah, the swing arm is where like part of it loosens up and becomes like a flail.
Yeah.
Cyclone tempo.
Old.
She literally uses thunder on
Cloudy and
Khalifa.
rain tempo.
Yeah. It's all of this new stuff. And it's just like, it's a fight where it's also partly like showing off to the audience and like explaining to the audience how she's doing it. And I just enjoy it so like the Mirage tempo I think is so unique. And I just really enjoy it. And in terms of like all of our crew, I feel like when Nami actually has to fight and she struggles, you're like in the thick of it with her. Like you're like, God, she just, you know, it's same thing with Usopp. It's just like, she's not Luffy. Like she's not the guy who's just gonna like bloody himself up, break every bone in his body, take a nap, eat a bunch of meat and walk it off. It's like, Nami is grounded in reality.
They have to outthink.
If she gets bit by a mosquito from the Jurassic era, she's gonna die. Okay, she's grounded in reality, and I just love this fight because every step of it, she is struggling, but she's also making progress and she's gaining confidence. And like, even though it's a total fan service, like, ooh, I touch your boobies, and oh no, your boobies are pressed against my back, and you're naked. It's just like,
did you get like an early version of the script? Because that sounds. Like actual, like that sounds like the notes.
I mean, every SBS that fans call out Oda for being a pervert, basically.
Oh, fair enough.
And he's like, ooh, woo, me?
And here's another one.
There's an SBS where Oda drew Khalifa getting the giraffe food. Would highly recommend people looking for that image.
That's amazing. I've not seen that before. That's incredible.
The chances. So weird. It really is interesting when you think about it. Like, I know it's like, it's just all predestined. Somebody wrote this manga, but it's like the fact that they're like, the girl who's like, no, this is going to be my aesthetic, the banana. Or did Kaku have the banana?
Kaku was the banana.
Yeah, Kaku is like, this is going to give me great, serious power of banana.
Banana.
Ooh, but yeah, I just greatly love this fight. I'm always rooting for Nami to like, not even like DBZ level outrageous, like now she can fly, but now everybody can fly. It's like, in terms of like her lateral climb to power, this is very like on board with what we've seen Nami be. I mean, Nami just fought God, okay? Mm-hmm. Nami can fight this bubbled woman. Like, this is all in the realm.
This bebubbled woman.
Bebubbled woman. Yeah. And it's just like, I don't know. I just really like this fight. I genuinely love Nami's staff. I like her ability to do weather stuff. And I feel like it's been a while, you know? I just like it. She was doing some stuff with Enel, but she didn't really have the means to do, she's not to her full potential, right? Like, she knows what she can do. She uses the weather to her advantage, but she doesn't have the power to control the weather. Now she's kind of has some ability to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. I love that for her.
Hard same.
Anybody else?
mood.
Any other fights you guys want to talk about?
Did anybody ever find what Zoro's attack with Usopp's arm was?
There wasn't a name. I found the YouTube clip, and he's just like, "Don't move from this pose." And Usopp's like, "I'll sue you! Like,
Josh-
somebody get me a lawyer."
Okay. I could have sworn there was a name to it. Like
There
he
might have
named
been
named, like,
something.
some sort of sword,
like long
something.
nose Usu.
I think that might have been it.
Usu
Something like
sword?
that.
Yeah.
But from here, as the members of CP9 start to get picked off one after the other, there is one engagement that we have yet to see, and we're building toward it. It's Luffy making his way up to fight Rob Lucci, and in a sort of desperate attempt of, oh, it's all goofed, we're all goofed, and I'm a fool, Spandam calls a buster call on accidentally on Ennie's lobby, which means our ticking clock is ticking even harder.
Accidentally. That guy's been threatening that buster call the entire time. He just assumes
He literally was just like, I'm gonna. The moment that he did too, he's just like, I'm just gonna call and find out what everybody is doing. He hits the button and he's just like, where is everybody? And then Robin's just like,
idiot.
What did you just do? And he's just like, I'm trying to call. It's like the Den Mushi, and he looks out. He's like, uh-oh,
This isn't my cell phone.
I'm on this island.
God, what an idiot. Like,
What a
Robin is literally like,
nerd.
if you push that button, everyone will die.
Where's
and I
the
mean
robot,
everyone.
Bansley?
Not yeah, exactly.
He mixes up which phone. It's like, here's the burner phone, and then here's my actual phone, and he mixes them up.
Drake, where's the door?
But I mean, that's also one of his character quirks. Is like when we first meet him, he's walking through Water 7 and he just trips and face plants on the ground. And then when we see him in present time, he's like playing with a sword and he chops a candle in half and it lights him on fire. And we just hear him screaming over the phone. It's like, this guy's not graceful.
He's just
No.
a failure
No.
in every
This guy
sense
thinks
of the word.
this guy thinks he's got big dick energy, but he don't.
No.
He got the job because his dad gave him the job.
His dad.
Yeah.
His dad works for the
It's
government.
the nepotism.
It's the
that's one of the things-
papatism.
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 So we've got this Buster call incoming. We've broken down to Luffy versus Lucci, and
I hate Rob Lucci. I hate
him
Rob
too.
Lucci.
Rob Lucci is the worst.
the
guy.
worst type of F-boy energy. In
He's
just
an
the
edgelord.
worst edge boy.
He's the edgelord. Here's the thing.
Edge boy.
Wonderful performance. Super great voice acting in both Japanese and English. Just a phenomenally evil character. I love to hate him. I hate him so much, though. I hate him so much. He's the character that's like, I enjoy hating you, which means that everything about this is perfected.
I'm
Good
glad
writing,
he's
good
dead.
characterization, fantastic, all blah, 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 and everything like that. He also has a devil fruit.
Yeah, he got cheetah, leopard.
He got the Neko no Mi.
Oh,
Model
I
leopard.
also
Yeah,
leopard.
the marine version of something we will find out later in One Piece. It's called Roku Shiki. Is
Yeah, Roku
their
Shiki.
shave
Yeah,
Geppo. That's how they do. That's their marine parkour.
but if you unlock all 6 of those techniques,
Chakra.
you unlock a secret 7th technique that utilizes all very Dragon Ball Z. Like we're not
Yeah.
at damn power level yet, but it's something to that effect. But we get Luffy going crazy with Gear Second, Lucci using litany of the different forms of the leopard. Luffy breaks out. He teased it in his flight. Against Bluno. But
I did want to mention that with Bluno. Bluno, we completely wrote him off. But the best part of that fight is when Luffy's like, "Dang, second gear's not gonna cut it. Guess we're going to the next thing." And he puts his thumb in his mouth, ready to like
Suck his
get
thumb.
into
Chop down.
the next form, not his final form, the next form, and then Bluno just collapsing on the ground. But the fact that was such a good setup to then I want to live. Like it's such a hype moment where you're like,
Yep.
oh my god, there's another you're telling me there's another gear, and it's
Luffy
like,
figured out 2 things?
we're gonna do this right now, and it's like
He did
"No, we're gonna do it right
homework."
now. So it's like this little appetizer before the main course, and
And we don't
I
actually
love
get
that
to see-
moment.
We get a tease of it too before and we get a little tiny Luffy, and we don't really see what
Little.
happens.
Little.
And it was just like what made Luffy really tiny?
So I wanted to recontextualize. Imagine if we got that whole scene, but it was tiny Luffy the whole time.
He's so strong.
Robin, say you want to whiv.
I want to live.
Robin, say you want to live.
Hello?
Al, you
Sorry.
often mark this, the Luffy and Lucci fight, as your favorite. Can you
Yes.
tell us a little bit as to why and what some of your favorite moments are?
So I guess foundationally, this is Luffy full on captaining. Like he up to this point, every fight he's been a part of, it's like, I gotta defeat the boss. At this point, the boss sucks. He has to defeat the threat to his crew. And who is that? That's Rob Lucci. Like he can see immediately the thing that he has to do as the trump card of the crew is like, I have to stop this guy from hurting anybody else. So I'm gonna hold him here and fight him for the entire like section of this arc, and it's amazing. Like I don't know, the stakes here are so high, and he's getting hurt so bad fighting this guy who's almost invincible, who can fire air bullets with his fingers, and just like it's a rough fight to watch, but it's also a satisfying fight to watch. We basically get the impression that Lucci can outmatch Luffy at every opportunity. Every time Luffy counters whatever Lucci can throw at him, Lucci has another like trick up his sleeve that he immediately throws at him. And it's just the fight builds to this point where the tease we got before of Luffy biting his thumb. Do you bite your thumb at me, sir? He in fact goes into gear third, which is huge punch. Large punch.
Large.
Big hand.
Big McLarge hand.
Large hands.
And like
You're gonna catch these large hands.
Large hands, baby.
like he keeps getting up, he keeps deciding that this is the fight that is worth having, and punches the bejesus out of Rob Lucci and the building they're standing in. And it's an iconic shot of just the building shattering and a tiny little dot of Rob Lucci flying from this huge, like, overly hyper detailed fist that has knocked him through the wall. And it's like that.
Love that for him.
That
Love
fight's
for
over.
him.
He did it. But like that view is seen by all these Marines approaching in this Buster call, and it's like the entire set piece of we're in this enormous courthouse in front of the giant
There you
gate. Like the world government is a huge entity. Yeah, well, big hand. Like
Yeah. My hands are big too.
it's good. I like it.
Yeah.
And also it affects the scale too of here we're having this quote unquote intimate fight. Once the wall gets broken through, everything sort of scales up a little bit more of Luffy's hand, goes bigger, and so much more of the Marines are looking at this, and now this is more than as a result of this punch. There's going to be so much more attention on Luffy and the Straw Hats as a result. And it's like an instantaneous preview of the next years of this show of this is that one moment that changes everything almost more, maybe not more so than burning the flag, because a lot of people saw the burning of the flag and then they saw Luffy completely taking out one of the heads of a major military organization.
This is what the world is Luffy for, like going into this next phase of the ocean, the Grand Line, Red Line, all this stuff. This is what maybe local people knew who Luffy was. Luffy's beating up local bad guys. Luffy's causing trouble in a very specific sea. Grand Line's the Grand Line's paradise. There's always going to be some crazy stuff happening. But this is why everybody knows Luffy's name after this, is everything that's been happening here. his the world stage. This is what people know.
Must be drawn here.
Yes, this is it. This is what everybody's like. Straw Hat Luffy, the guy who like messed up the courthouse, like that guy, the world government guy. This is where people are like, this guy's crazy. Like this, I gotta meet this guy. This guy's crazy.
This dude's bananas.
This guy's crazy.
This guy thinks he's hot shit.
This guy.
I gotta meet this guy. He's crazy.
And this is where everything starts to break apart, literally and figuratively, where the Buster Call's coming, our crew needs to escape, Robin or Luffy and Robin escape. The rest of the crew gets rescued by Kokoro, who gives us a full reveal of her mermaid form, much to the dismay of Sanji and everybody else for that matter. But
Sanji's canceled. Sanji's canceled,
and will continue to be canceled. This is one of those great moments where we have the Lucille Bluth, like, good for her sort of a thing with Kokoro. But as they are escaping through like the sewers and the waterways, there's still nowhere to go until the return of the Going Merry, which we thought was
They yeeted her off a cliff.
essentially, but like
Zetus Lapidus, everybody.
Zetus Lagitas.
Oh my god.
So good. But presumably, if you wanted to explain it, Mary got whisked away by the Aqua Laguna and ended up magically, as if by magic, or some sort of sorceress.
Magically, as if by
that's the
Magically magic.
Oh, Mary went after her friends. Mary went to go help
the ship found its merry way to her crew.
Mary said, "Look down here, jump in the ocean. Look down."
They just hear a voice say, "Jump." And they get caught by Mary, and they take one last Tokyo drift back to Water 7.
It's about family.
Because they're all family. Molly, does the manga lay this out in a like? How do you remember this as somebody who primarily read?
So the lead up to this scene too is very much like, how are we gonna get out of this? It's like Spamda is like dragging Robin by her hair. He's determined to get to the gate. Frankie is chasing her. The rest of the Straw Hats are on the other side of the bridge. Nami and Sanji are trying not to drown, down below. That like one of their only routes to get to Robin is now blocked. So it's very much like we see her. Our hands are extended. Like we just need to get to her. Like she's so close. And Usopp is like snipering from the tower. Sorry, Soja King is sniping from the tower. Robin stands up for herself. Finally, cuffs her off. All this stuff is going on. They're like, the crew's together. The crew is together. Where is Luffy? There is Luffy. What do we do now? We're going to have to steal a ship. We can't steal a ship. They're bombing their own ships. What do we do? And it's just this moment of like, Usopp is yelling to, now it's Usopp. Usopp is yelling to Luffy, telling him to get up.
Well, even that moment, Luffy is just kind of like,
Soja King?
Not even. He's just like, when did Usopp get here?
Yeah, how did Usopp? You were here this whole time?
Usopp, you followed.
Crazy.
But it's this moment of like, we're all here. We've regrouped. We're still a little bit spread out, but we're together. And it's like, no, we're not. We're not all here. You know why? Because we're missing an essential crewmate. We're missing Mary.
I was going to take Soja King because he disappeared.
Well, he's in our hearts. He's in our hearts.
And Polly.
And that's the kind of lead up. The lead up is that we did it. The fighting is over. I'm ignoring that. The fighting is over. And it's like, now we just got to do one of our amazing Straw Hat escapes. How do we do this? How do we go about this? We usually have the Mary. What do we do? And it's the Mary is like, I got you, bro. I got you one last time. It's about
One left ride.
it's about family, Dom. It's about family. And that's basically what the manga is. It's like a 2-page spread where everyone is like, just jump in the ocean. Jump in the ocean? Like, we're gonna die. Like, why would we jump in the ocean? Let's steal a ship. No.
Also, half of us can't swim.
Also, who said that?
It's this leap of faith, right? This whole crazy ragtag team of people who have seen miracle after miracle, and it's like
It was the
jumping in the ocean. Jumping in the ocean means certain death, and it's like literally their only way to survive. And it's just this beautiful like 2-page spread of like, everybody jump, we're jump in the ocean, and it's just this panel where we see Mary very far down, and you see the little stick figures of the straw hats jumping in, and they're like, Mary, and it's like, oh god, Mary.
Even Frankie's just like, there is no reasonable explanation for this. I build ships all the time. This doesn't make any sense.
Frankie's like, let's
there's a brief moment where Frankie turns into Krunk and just like pulls down a thing. It's like, biological reason, this doesn't make any sense. It's just like goes back to it, and it's just like, but I'm here for it. It's not like I'm not complaining. One, we get to live.
This is like one of the few instances that Frankie is like, these people are f***ing crazy. I'm in. Like, I'm into this energy.
Yeah, it was the complete opposite of every other time that somebody meets the Straw Hats, and it's just like, who are these freaks? And it's just like, I guess I should probably take him down. And then Frankie's just like, who are these freaks?
Affectionate.
Oh, man.
I love them.
Yeah, exactly. Because Frankie is a freak. He's like, thank you. Frankie's the one freak in One Piece where you're like, who's this freak? And he's like, thank you. Oh my god, you noticed? Oh my god.
Wow. Was it my Speedo? Was it my giant Popeye arms?
Oh my god, if you think
was it my hair?
He like gestures to himself. If you think this is freaky, check this shit out. And it's like pulls off like sleeve of glove, skin glove.
Turns into a centaur, opens up his chest cavity. He's like, want some soda?
Yeah.
I guess to explain.
No explanation.
Frankie is my favorite character because he represents like the artist's journey. He tries a bunch of weird stuff and not all of it works. And he's always trying to self-improve. And sometimes you'll run into like, oh, he's a centaur. Oh, it's backwards. And, like,
it's just his own twist.
I can relate to that very much. It's like, I drew this thing. Oh, it's bad.
I never thought of it like that way. But that makes a lot of sense.
I love
That's
that
good stuff.
Look at you. Hey, look at you.
Jeez.
Look at you.
Look at us.
Here we are.
Okay, now my butt's big. No, that's bad. Okay, I'll try again later. 1 second.
Oh my god. But the full crew is together, and they smeared the government. They gave the government a big middle finger. We got Robin back. The full crew is together again. Mary is alive. We're coming off a high now. We're having a good time.
Can I take one moment and just pull it apart real quick?
No.
Depends.
No, I can't.
No, you can. Yeah, I mean, just don't make it too painful.
Cautious approval.
No. So at through this whole thing, Spendham had been like literally beating Robin to hell, and just like there was a scene where Robin was like literally trying to hold on and wait and delay things just a little bit longer, so she like bit into the ground to like stop him from moving. And there was all this stuff. Once she finally got freed, it was like the immediacy was, let's escape. So as they're finally getting away on Mary, and they're having this moment of like, we're getting away, and they're still being chased and everything like that.
We're doing it, Peter.
We're getting away. It's like she turns and looks back, and there's Spendham on his ship, just like desperately trying to get closer and closer. And she's like, she kind of has this moment of just like, no more of this. No more chasing. No more of you. And then she, uses her devil fruit powers to spawn arms all over him that constrict him.
Clutch.
And then snaps his spine with Clutch. And I'm just like, that's it. All right.
More like spined him, am I right?
Be ready for the long censor
Whoa.
because here it comes. You ready?
Uh-oh.
The moment I saw that, I was just like, let's go! Let's do this! Holy shit! Let's go! That's exactly what I wanted. It's exactly what I wanted. The catharsis of it all was just like, please don't leave Robin hanging with this. Give her some closure. Let her have a moment to like take her life back. And she snaps his spine and she has this face of unforgiveness. And I'm just like, thank you. That's all I wanted. It was so, the catharsis. I was screaming in the chat.
Very satisfying arc.
It was so good. Oh, okay. Sorry. That's it. That's all.
No,
I'm good.
I mean,
What are you
I
sorry
think
about?
we all have the same. I think we all feel the same way. Again, somebody who is so unredeemable, somebody who is like villain to the T. There's nothing good about this character, and then you finally see this guy after he's been like punching, kicking, pulling her hair, slapping her, making other people punch her, like just the guy who's beating the crap out of Robin, who's like set himself on fire and he's gotten beat up a little bit, but like no, like this is the moment where you're like, break him like a glow stick, Robin, break him. And she
In the
does.
hall, in view of the gate of justice,
Mhm.
he received some.
Yeah, he got it. He got this.
He got justiced.
He got
He
justice.
got-
But now we're in the other sad part.
Talk shit, get hit, man.
We're going off a really good high.
And he found out.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did.
He got cracked like a glow stick. The mayor's back.
Jeez.
No,
did.
that's it.
Yeah,
That's
you're
it.
right.
That's
did,
the
though.
way. That's
I said it
That's
earlier and
all.
nobody reacted, but I'm
Break him
gonna
like a
stand by
glow
what I
stick.
said.
Break him
No,
like a
that's
glow
it.
stick.
I mean, yeah, he got cracked, dog. And the mayor's
shake him
back,
around a
and
little
we're
bit so
having.
it glows a
We
little
did it.
longer.
Not only did we did it, Mary's back, and like we're doing it. We're getting away. It's happening, Peter. We're doing it. Everyone's okay. We're all okay, except we're not all okay.
No.
I mean, as much as we hate CP9, they were right about Mary. And as Frankie has just probably stated in the manga or the anime, it defies all logic that Mary is there.
Yeah, don't make
Because-
this biological. This doesn't make any sense.
They said Mary would never float again.
And
Mary did. Mary did.
One last ride, everybody.
It's about family, Tom. It's about part of the ship, part of the crew. Can you still be a ship if there's? Can you still be a crew if there's no ship?
I mean, I guess we'll find that out.
Yeah.
Because Mary finally gets the respect of all of the Straw Hats in the sense of a proper, for lack of a better term, a proper burial.
Mm-hmm.
And this part of One Piece that was so crucial and so important to, I mean, it's how they got along on the dang sea, for goodness sakes. But we get to say goodbye. And it just, they reanimated part of this to get like a best of Mary set like episode out of it, and it's called the episode of Mary.
The compilation.
It's so difficult to watch because it's presented like a memorial.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Mary has been so important to the Straw Hats throughout this entire thing that they have to press on now. They have to deal with a major loss and press on. Thankfully, they know a shipwright that owes them a solid.
Polly.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
So he makes an entire ship out of rope, you see. And but I think
The 1,000 ropey.
Oh no.
Wow.
that's
Ooh.
mm,
Al?
I don't like
Stop.
that.
I'm so
Stop.
sorry. Regretty.
Good.
Spaghetti, spaghetti.
Forget. But with that, I believe we're going to sail off. We are going to remember Mary as we knew her, and we'll come back with the post Ennie's lobby at the beginning of the next episode. So before we go, we want to make sure that you can follow the crew at their various places of social and media. Let's get started with Caden. Where can the folks find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. It's all just Caden. Caden Jensen, KDINJENZEN. You can also find me on the Rooster Teeth website. And that's just Caden there. KDIN.
Al.
You can find me online at Al McClellan Jr. ALMCCLELLANDJR. Good luck. I'm still recovering, y'all. I'm sorry.
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram at Mark B. Donica. How about you, Molly?
You can find me on Twitter at TEHFLOOD and Tumblr at Molly Flood, Molly K Flood, depending on what you're looking for. And we have a Yayo Talk Show Tumblr that you guys should be following if you so enjoy One Piece fan art, One Piece memes, One Piece.
The Eeby
One Piece everything. Yeah, everything One Piece, on Tumblr.
Everything. But everything! Going along with how most arcs and sagas have ended, now that you've listened to the show, you've joined our crew! With that comes the responsibility of telling your friends, leaving a comment, following us on Twitter and Twitch at Yayo Talk Show, and letting Caden watch the show in one piece. So, come aboard, and we'll see you next time on Yayo Talk Show.
Talking about
One Piece.